Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. Hello. All right. Welcome everyone. I've changed my setup here a little bit, so yeah, bear with me. Give me a second here while I get myself all set up. And yeah, let me know in this little chance in the comments if you can hear me. All right. Oh, there it is. I don't have any music going yet, but will shortly. Once I am all situated and making sure all the levels are good. Welcome everyone. Nick here. Yes. Yeah, my new setup. Of course, I gotta have the Walk Show shirt in the background here for all of your podcasting and drumming needs. It's quiet? Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Check 1. Is that better? I guess having volume up on this thing. But yeah, can you hear me okay now? It's showing that I'm clipping, so I'm hoping I'm not too loud. Still quiet? Still quiet? How about now? How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Yeah, at some point I will invest in a actual down 4%. Oh, okay. Down 4. I think that was 4. Yeah, it's funny. Even though I have these in, I can't actually hear the microphone for some reason. So thank you for the help, Crimson Asphalt and Lindsay. All right, I'm just going to start it off here with the opening tune. It's, of course, the theme song written by Ben Zander and Travis Down of various projects. So here we go. Yes. Let's go indeed. Love that tune. And great having a theme song, so thanks again, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Metal Mondays. I am Nick from Gain Media. Of course, work side by side with Rick on a bunch of shows. I work behind the scenes, of course, with him on his Instagram page and making all those posts and all that fun stuff. So tonight's episode of Metal Mondays, I'm going to do some throwbacks. I'm going to do some nostalgia stuff. We don't have like a ton of stuff coming up quite yet, other than September 2nd, of course, at Red Papaya. That's, of course, a co-promo with Guillotine Dreams Promotions. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw a couple songs together. Rick's at work, so I went a little haywire. I'm also just coming off of Hillside. Was allowed to get out there, and yeah, I love Hillside. I think it's one of those underrated festivals, although it's been a festival for 40 years as of this year. They always have, a wide variety of international and local artists, and a lot of protest songs, and it's a festival that's all about the world we live in, as well as others. There were a couple of Ukrainian bands, Balaclava Blues. Definitely check that band out. Dakra Brabra, I can't even say the name properly, it's not in front of me right now, but check out the whole Hillside lineup that they just had. Amazing festival, a lot of like I said, a lot of protest songs, and there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and we gotta stand up. But anyways, I'm gonna get on with tonight's playlist. Starting out with a band I haven't listened to in a little while, but I've always loved these guys. I put out an album not too long ago. I'm gonna start this one off with some Structures.
Waiting at my doorstep. When I crash and burn, possession stay on earth. Cause now it's your time to live. Cause when you're dead and gone, there ain't nothing to look back on. Tell me, what the fuck do you have to look back on? Everything you own is inside your head. But when you die, that's it, yeah, you got you dead. So cover up your scars when they see you red, or cover up your heart, cause you got you dead. Everything you own is inside your head. When you're living like the stars, what's your credit debt? Where's your credit check? Think you should edit it? Think you should cover up your heart, cause you got you dead. Cause you got you dead. Cause you got you dead. Everything you own is inside your head. When you're living like the stars, what's your credit debt? Where's your credit check? Think you should edit it? Think you should cover up your heart, cause you got you dead. Cause you got it 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 dead.
Yes. Yeah, they went in a very interesting direction. Sorry, I was tweaking something here. Definitely a very interesting direction on the new album. I haven't really given it a good chance to give it a listen until recently, so yeah, it's very, very new metal for sure. So the next couple tunes I just kind of threw on there. It's the same band. I'm not going to post. Well, I'm going to see if you can guess what band this is. It's a bit of a throwback. Same band, next two songs, but two different albums. I'm going to kick it off with this one.
We will never let us die.
that probably gave away the next one. But yeah, I really miss that style, that really sporadic, yet it seemed it was like planned and timed, and yeah, it reminds me of well, of course, Dillinger, but Circle Takes a Square was another band, kind of bands like that. And anyways, it really got me into, I guess, that style of metal. And it's funny you mentioned Kings and Graves, because I was going to put a track of theirs on tonight's playlist, but I couldn't find one on Spotify, and I kept my playlist somewhat brief, but I'm going to yammer a lot, so it'll pass the time. But anyways, when the End put out their next album, Elementary, in 2007, I remember they got a ton of flack for it, but it was probably one of my favorite albums front to back as far as metal at the time. It encompassed so many different styles, and they still had a little bit of their old style, but I think you can see why they lost a lot of fans. I find like a lot of bands at that time had a very loyal following, and if they diverged anywhere from their genre, they got a lot of flack. It was very much a sellout kind of phase of, oh, you sold out if you did this, which looking back on it is funny, because how else do you get paid unless you're getting your name out there? Anyways, this album was phenomenal. After this one, the band kind of played and toured a little bit, but most of the guys like broke off and did independent things. There was one band that came out of it, I forget the name now, I'll try and track it down, but yeah, this is the Never Ever Aftermath by The End. That same band, of course. Yes, that was The End. Band based out of Hamilton, originally, I believe, Hamilton region. Yeah, they played a bunch. I remember driving to Hamilton. There was a venue just outside of on Highway 6 there. I completely forget what it's called, but we used to drive out there and see these guys starring Janet Leigh, bunch of other bands at the time. Names escaping me right now, but anyways, it was great to be able to kind of go down memory lane, I guess. But that last song, The Never Ending Aftermath, comes off of their album Elementary, which came out in 2007. But of course, check out Within Davidia. That was their 2004 album. And they had an EP that came out in 2003. Those are all on Spotify. Yeah, the next tune today on today's playlist is from Rick, actually. He sent this one and asked me to play it. Nick, the bassist of Lungless, is it Lungless? Yeah. Those guys were a wicked band. This is a new project of his called Pneumonia Breath. Song is called Broken Foundation. I checked out the intro. I haven't really heard the whole song, so this is kind of a first for me as well. But yeah, check these guys out, Pneumonia Breath.
You have reaped what you've sown.
Assuming then that you don't feel that you belong in the hospital, but that other people did feel that.
As soon as I express the belief that I do not belong in this hospital, which is a mental hospital, then those who dislike me want to find a worse place for me.
I'm not sure I understand. Could you make that clearer for me?
Just not sure I understand. That was Pneumonia Breath. And yeah, I can't quite remember if where Lungless were originally from. I want to say Windsor for some reason, but I could be completely wrong. Rick or someone can correct me in the comments. Yeah, up next, just because they've been playing a handful of dates, we had them back, when did we have them? April? I don't know, time's a weird thing. Anyways, this is Drip by Teeth.
Sex are not the same. We are not the same. The passion living by the flame and the fleeting of my past life. Time to beg, now to face. We are not the same. Space, running down, back, kingdom down, face, winding high, still. Breathe, breathe on me without intention. Worshipping outside intervention. No sleep all day, we're running late. No trees, no sleep, no serenity. Breathe, breathe on me without intention. Trip, lovers lead out, as a robot. Trash, getting the peace, colors seen. Trip, lovers lead out, as a robot. Trash, getting the peace, colors seen.
Yes, picking all the songs. With that, oh, Blake. Always phenomenal to see him live in any band he's in. Myself, as well as others, probably have a ton of stories about Blake's antics and being known as the stage monster for a variety of reasons. Great band, Teeth. We will hopefully have them back around soon. We've been talking to a lot of bands of that caliber lately. I won't even give any hints because I don't like to drop big names before anything is confirmed. It's an old superstition. I used to not even talk about shows that we were working on until they were fully confirmed, contracts sent, signed, etc., etc. But yeah, kind of just been tossing a couple names around. It just gets me all nostalgic for the shows we used to do at Vinyl. But anyways, speaking of shows, the next kind of batch of songs are all because they're all bands that either have shows coming up or that we're going to hopefully work with again, etc., etc. But first off, I want to do a quick shout out because Metal Mondays is all about making sure that we're talking about and promoting upcoming shows and events. Of course, Crimson Asphalt in the comments here. Thank you as always for tuning in. Those guys have a show coming up August 26th at Dundas and Sons. That's going to be epic. I haven't yet to been to that venue, but I would love to go and check out a show there at some point. So if there's any rides coming from this region, I'll see if I can get it off work. But yeah, a couple other shows to toss out there. August 17th, Atria Rum Runners in London. Big show for them. That's, of course, with We Are Human, Akia, and I don't know the other band who's on that one. Solaris? Sorry. Yeah, August 17th. Ryefield Studios, of course, the festival, the Whiskey in the Pit, or at the Pit, August 19th in Brantford. All of those shows, if you're following the Chronic Noise group page, I try to keep all of the upcoming events pinned to the top so people can see what's going on. We try and post them on the Chronic page as well, but make sure you're following all the bands if you're tuning into this now or later. I know we've got a lot of people who kind of check in later, so just want to do a shout out for all of those shows. And of course, yeah, I'm going to mention as well that Cryophilic, Unveil the Omen, and Control also have a show on the 26th, but I forget actually where that one is. I want to say it's in Hamilton. I should have written that down. I'll have some of those tunes featured later. But anyways, upcoming, I'll give you a hint. These guys, well, they're a wicked band from KW, and have a show coming up as well, hopefully yet to be announced, I will say, but we're hoping to nail down the details. Going to kind of give an early sneak peek. Guess if you can guess the band, let me know. Yes, that was Raider. Song was Trial by Chaos. Both Raider and Invicta, if you haven't checked either of those bands out, both from KW Cambridge region, phenomenal bands. All the guys kind of actually playing in a bunch of different projects, fill in on guitars, on tours, and tech, and do pretty much everything. Just like I think most musicians nowadays are pretty much multi-talented magicians. Most of my friends and people I know kind of do everything, which I think that's why it's such an underrated industry, just because so many people put so many hours in behind the scenes that you never really see. But anyways, enough of that and me gushing about how awesome my friends are. Some other shows to kind of mention. And actually one little kind of gripe, and it was pointed out to me that I'm going to just become that old man yells at sky kind of thing. But I always get a little bit weirded out when bands say that they're playing a North American tour and only play Toronto, and then the rest of the dates are in the States. Like, I get it, you know, it's, I guess in their eyes it's all the same, but you know, there's a lot more to the Americas than just the States. So anyways, that aside, phrasing aside, I always just found it funny. There's some tours that were just announced between some bands, and I just had to kind of point out the funny part about saying you're playing North America when you have one date in Toronto and the rest in the States. But whatever. Yeah, I don't even know how to segue that, but I did mention a couple shows before. Ryefield Studios, of course, Wicked Dudes. If you're a band and you wanted some videos, some live footage, go check those guys out. I've got a great YouTube page going. The guys are in some bands as well, but they host an annual Whiskey Fest, Whiskey in the Pit Fest. I should have had this up and whatever. Oh, there it is. Festival at the Whiskey Pit. That is August 19th. I was hoping to actually kind of go this year, but it actually falls on the same time as Riverfest, which I am volunteering for, and we're also presenting a band on. So I'm going to be in Elora during that weekend. But if you're not in Elora and you want to check out a wicked metal festival, make sure you are in Brantford. Check out all the stuff that the Ryefield Studios guys do on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that fun stuff. I kind of just picked this next band because they played our festival, and I kind of picked a random tune that I hadn't really heard before. So watch just kind of like a random instrumental one, but either way it's gonna be wicked because it's old time moonshine.
Know that I chose a moment.
Yeah, definitely love Old Time Moonshine, and also when I pick a random song that I haven't heard yet. We had those guys on Gainfest, of course, in April. Hopefully have them back at some point soon. There's definitely a couple of bands. I mean, at least one. Wakeless. I always think of them every time I hear that band. But that song is called Please Please. It is on Spotify and all their other musical platforms, so check it out. Make sure you're following them and all the other bands. I got a couple more here tonight. I thought I was actually going to go, it could be early, but I guess I've been talking a lot, so makes up for it. But this next song is going to be probably in stark, well, not probably, it is going to be in stark contrast. As I mentioned, Cryophilic are playing at Hard Luck. I didn't mention that before, on the 26th. If you're in Toronto, make sure you check this one out. War Cry by Cryophilic. Almost didn't let that ring out. That was Cryophilic. War Cry was the song. They are playing August 26th in Toronto at Hard Luck with Unveil the Omen, Control, and I think there might be one more, but I apparently didn't write it in my notes, so we'll see. Check it out, follow the band, and of course playing in London at Dundas and Sons is Crimson Asphalt. This is Throat Punch.
If you've already been told
Yes, that was Crimson Asphalt. The song was Throw Punch. Always makes me want to jump into a pit, start throwing down. It's been a long time since I've done that. So, anyways, got about, let's say, 4 more songs for you. I might go a little past 9. Hopefully that's okay. I was going to throw maybe a 5th, then we'll see. We'll see how I feel. The next song coming up, this gets into our September shows. Also, just to mention, Gain, I know myself, I stay pretty quiet in July and August. I had a few shows kind of throughout the month, but just because I am involved with a few local festivals and with all that stuff going on, I try and keep it minimal. And I know there's always lots of other shows going on as well, so I like to kind of take a couple steps back in July and August. So that's why I haven't seen much from Gain, and also with Chronic as well. We both, Rick and I, kind of, we got to have our downtime too. We got to have our vacation time and enjoy other shows in other towns and experience other things other than just throwing shows in Guelph, I guess. But I just wanted to do a quick kind of like shout out for all the festivals going on this summer. Make sure you check them out. That's where you find up and coming local and touring bands, international bands, all that sort of stuff. Like Ryfield Studios has their festival, but also other events, especially in Guelph in particular. And I can speak for Guelph only, not just me obviously, because there's a whole team of people that make Guelph work. Guillotine Dreams, of course, promotions, Connor and Ben, those guys are doing great shows. I just sent them Hexus actually because I knew that my plate was full, and those guys are hosting Hexus along with Teleportus, our good friends, on October 3rd in Guelph. Make sure you're following Guillotine Dreams because we work close with them. They do their own stuff as well, of course. Great guys hosting great shows in Guelph. Another organization, if you're looking for more kind of punk stuff, Satellite Collective, they're on Instagram, not on Facebook, but the Satellite Collective crew do kind of last Sunday of the month shows at Planet Bean, so they're all ages, 5:30 doors, early shows. Great dudes. They mix in a bit of hardcore and punk and all that kind of stuff in. So if you're looking kind of for an off date or things like that, and if you do end up emailing Gain, I will probably end up passing you on to those guys because they're great dudes doing great things in the town, and it's one of those things where we all help each other out, right? Like if I can't host a show, I want to make sure that the show can still happen. We'll still promote for it. And touching on that too, Gain also does host ticketing. So if you're looking for affordable ticketing, instead of going to Eventbrite with all, or not, I shouldn't say names, my apologies, this is live, shouldn't say any names. If you're going to one of the bigger platforms, I should say, and don't want to deal with the excessive fees that a lot of them charge, not pointing any names out by any means, because I do use some of those sometimes, or I have in the past, but Gain does offer ticketing. So yeah, reach out to me if you're looking to host a show and want to have a bit more affordable ticketing options. Anyways, I'm yammering on. I'm going to get to the next song. It is Two Shadows. Rick is hosting them along with Guillotine Dreams, September 2nd. Two Shadows at Red Papaya. that was Two Shadows, who are playing Guelph on September 2nd. And of course, they're also on tour, playing Kingston on September 7th, Ottawa on the 8th, Montreal on the 9th, a bunch of other dates posted on their page. September 1st in Toronto, as Drew mentioned in the comments. Or somebody, I don't know, sure, somebody mentioned in the comments, I think. Anyways, it's a great band, Two Shadows. Can't wait to host them in Guelph. It just reminded me, I was looking at their tour routing, and I see that September 6th they're playing the Kill Room. Not too long ago, the venue was unfortunately shut down. They did make a post recently about writing to local MPs and all that. So if you want to help save a local venue, I'll be writing a couple letters on behalf of the Kill Room. Make sure you do that. Every voice does matter, and if local MPs and MPPs are getting those messages and seeing that there's a viable venue that is helping sustain the local music scene as well as the skate scene, all those things are important for the youth. So I really feel it's I strongly feel it's important to reach out. So go to the Kill Room page, make sure it was relocated to the Casbah. Good to know that they found a venue for that one. Thanks for the update on that. But do write to go check out the Kill Room Instagram page. Make sure you're supporting your local venues, because without them, we can't really do this. And online is great, but it's not the same as in person. So I just want to give a shout out to the Kill Room and their efforts to stay open and keep doing shows, because they do some wicked stuff there. So make sure you do that. I guess one more shout out. The next song I've got on the playlist isn't exactly metal, but we've got a couple kind of shows coming up in September that are heavy, a bit of a mix, but we're also, I'll give you a hint as to a post that I made on the Gain page. We are going to be hosting an emo night for anyone interested. I know it's not everyone's bag. It's something that I grew up with, and I love DJing these nights, and we've been talking about bringing it back to Onyx for a while, so that's coming up. Stay tuned. Probably going to make the announcement in the next couple of days on the Gain Media page. And it just reminds me, because Napoleon, they're not really emo. It's kind of this hard rock punk kind of feel. I've played them before. We've hosted them before at Onyx almost a year ago, I guess now. We did announce that they're playing September 8th. So this is a band out of Toronto called Napoleon, and this is Full Size Problem.
Well, you mean nothing to me, so get the fuck out.
has Napoleon playing September 8th at Onyx. It's an early show. Along with them on that one are going to be Express. It's going to be a super fun show. Keeping it pretty tight because it's doing an early show mixed with... anyways, we're going to announce it later. It's going to be a fun party afterwards, but the whole show is going to kind of be mixed in kind of that early show with a nightclub kind of vibes. It's funny because Rick and I were talking about it, and I didn't even intend to have that in the playlist, but I realized that that is kind of one of our first shows with September coming back around. I know we don't want to think about that in, well, end of July, so won't talk further. I got one more track, and then I'm going to close out with the Metal Mondays theme. But I started out with a bit of a throwback, so I figured I would continue that trend with my closing song tonight. Yeah, again, if you can guess it, hit up in the comments. I do want to do a shout out to everyone who is tuned in. Thank you so much to everyone who's chiming in the comments. Crimson Asphalt and Drew and Lindsay, and of course Rick. I don't know if Rick's going to be back next week. I'll check in with him. I feel because it's a holiday, quite possibly. I'm not sure if I'm going to be back in town in time. I'm actually going away where there's going to be no electricity and no running water. It's kind of my favorite place, one of my favorite places to be. So yeah, I appreciate you having me as this week's host. Make sure you check out all the bands. I will post this week's playlist on the Metal or on the Chronic Noise YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Lots of shows coming up, so keep following Chronic and Gain. Let guess what this one is. I'm just tongue-tied now. Bleh.